This time on Airshow,
Rocket, man.
Stefan gets a second chance.
He is about to begin.
Whoa.
Oh, crap.
3 strikes, you're out.
Pete's back on track,
It's like a drug you just want more of.
but high winds
Oh, I knew it.
battle the air racer. And a surprise guest
Who's that?
becomes Donna's nightmare.
There's a guy standing in the middle of the runway.
You see the dude on the runway?
Mama said he'd never make it. That spirit, no tears to cry. Too young, too dumb to listen. Cold courage strapped in a trap. Sun sky, wax and sage. Smoke clears now roll away. Icarus the Greek must fly today. Must fly today.
8 miles east, 1,000.
The flying circus is heading west.
Kilo India, X-ray, inbound to landing.
For the busiest weekend of the season.
We have an air show in 2 separate locations on one weekend in a large metropolitan city. We got Carol and Marcus with their wing walking act.
Hey, we're up with you, John and Dave.
We got me and John with our team act.
Roger, cleared to land runway 2.
Stefan's gonna get his second shot at his first air show.
On Bay Tower, Steerman 65263, runway 25.
Performers touch down near Vancouver, British Columbia to begin a marathon day.
Well, hello, hello, hello.
How do?
Airport 1 hold short.
Today, they'll have to complete 2 practices.
There's airplanes landing and taking off all over the place. That's a huge challenge logistically.
After a morning practice at the first show site, Boundary Bay Airfield, the teams will travel 25 miles for an afternoon rehearsal at the second show site, Pitt Meadows Airport.
It's kind of like pulling a double shift, except I'm not allowed to get tired during my double shift because that could result in untimely demise.
Yo, it's a busy day. It's a very busy day.
Thanks, Vic.
Airboss team Ray Furcus and Donna Flynn
It's not raining, so I'm happy.
will tag team today's practices.
I got a couple questions for you.
But already, Ray has a problem.
Terminal is pulling up the altitude, so there has been no provision for the air show at this point in time.
We're right next door to the second busiest airport in all of Canada. Their airspace is above our airspace.
This is awful. They like to throw aircraft right over top of our head.
What time is it?
It's 9.
Have we started flying yet?
No.
No, not the way I wanted to start. I mean, I want to get going, and this is not good.
We're basically on a hold. We're not accomplishing anything at this point in time other than frustrated.
McLeod, to the south front.
It's too early this morning for this.
An air show pilot turned air racer is back in the game. Pete McLeod is gunning for his first victory in the Formula One of aviation, the Red Bull Air Races.
Looks like Pete McLeod is next to go.
The drive to win for me, it's addictive. It's like a drug that you just want more of.
For the last 3 years, the world's youngest air racer has been paying the bills, flying air shows.
He's gonna roll it upside down.
Because the race circuit temporarily shut down. Pete's next battle is about to begin.
See a squadron of Red Bull. There's Pete there, the 3rd one in the group.
Outside London, England, at a world-famous horse track.
The next race is Ascot. It's the start of the stadium series of the races.
Hello, Pete, just touching down.
Flying against 11 of the top racers in the world, Pete marked his return with his first podium finish.
Third place finish. I couldn't ask for a better way to start the season.
We'll have a quick peek, and we'll get the blower back on.
Pete's plane, an Edge 540, must be inspected before this morning's first practice flight.
A mechanical failure, if that's in the back of your mind, there's no way you're going to push that piece of equipment to the edge.
Wow. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, that's new, Dave. That's happened on this landing right here.
Landing on the bumpy horse track hammered the tail wheel into the rudder.
When you're landing or something, it hits up, the tail wheel hits up in the bottom of the rudder.
This is big, Pete.
I have to get in that airplane and I'm going to push it to the limit. And I have to know that it's ready to go.
Pete's mechanic, Pat Phillips, gets to work.
Do you have a timeline on this?
Well,
because we're supposed to be in the air at 12:30.
Are you?
If the plane isn't ready in 45 minutes,
We didn't have the time to change this.
Pete will miss his practice.
If you don't make your start time, you don't get to race.
At the Airshow practice near Vancouver,
We're way behind schedule.
performers have been in a holding pattern for nearly an hour.
No, impressive is not a word I'd use.
Carol, Marcus, and the rest have to fly the first of 2 practices at different airfields today.
We got to cut off time. We got to get the practices done, and that's it.
Air boss Ray Furcus arranged for the airspace months ago.
We are late, guys. Let's go.
But the airline traffic is still interfering with his airshow box.
It's Ray Furcus, the show boss, just looking to try and find out what the challenge is with getting the airspace. Okay, all right, thank you.
Finally,
We're up.
Ray gets control of his airspace.
Got it, Dave. The airspace is yours.
Get ready to go fly. Have some fun.
Okay, let's warm up. 2.5 cubic, come back into it. Go back into it.
As Dave and John rehearse their routine,
If for some reason you come and rescue us and you don't find a girl on the end of this, look for me, please. I'm somewhere.
Carol briefs the fire rescue team, her most important pre-flight ritual.
We have a unique routine in that we fly low, we fly slow, and so we are vulnerable to ending up on the runway unintentionally, i.e. crash. Clear!
Red Stearman, taxiing runway 25.
Marcus, the airspace is yours.
Carol and Marcus will practice a risky maneuver they haven't performed in years, the slow roll.
The airplane rolls around its longitudinal axis. Very few people do that in Stearmans because it's unnatural and it's too heavy, especially with the wing walker.
Once Carol is tied into the top wing, Marcus begins the roll.
It's dramatic as hell because there's a chick up there and this airplane slowly makes this roll.
But as Marcus brings the biplane around, there's trouble. Marcus and Carol are practicing a new maneuver when the engine quits momentarily.
If you didn't see it, you could sure hear it.
boss, Marcus. That was it. We are a wrap.
Marcus gets the steerman back on the ground.
That was good. The air was thick.
It was a hell of a good ride. Woke me up, got my freaking attention.
The steerman relies on gravity to keep fuel flowing from a tank in the wing to the motor. But if the biplane hangs upside down too long, the engine is starved and will quit.
When we regain that positive flow, we have a bang where the engine refires. And a puff of flame. All good. So it's dramatic as hell.
One down, one to go.
Looks like that's a wrap. Thank you very much.
Now, performers must launch to the next airfield 24 miles away
Windows 1608, you're clear to take off.
for the day's second practice. For Carol, it's a rare chance to take a simple joyride in her Stearman.
Just did this all the way. It was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
She normally is riding on top of the wing. So, yeah, hello, sitting inside the cockpit is not very interesting. Oh well.
263 Tower, you should see the airport at about your 11 o'clock and 2 miles now.
Good copy. Left base for runway 18, Stearman 263.
At the second practice site, Air Boss Donna Flynn takes over.
Looking good. Touch wood.
First on deck, 25-year-old Stefan Trischuk.
I've got my brand new flight suit on. I want to look the part. I'm making sure I get every little drop of fuel because I'm a little bit paranoid right now.
Last weekend,
Oh, shoot, he's running out of gas.
en route to what was supposed to be his first air show,
Going down.
Stefan ran out of gas and was lucky to survive an emergency landing on a highway.
I'm going to be watching him really closely. It shook him up.
I'm a brand new guy, and they are evaluating me very closely. This is the weekend that everyone's gonna make up their mind whether they can trust me or not.
Donna, are you with me?
I am, Stefan. And I hear you got your clearance. The airspace is yours.
Just be aware the end of the box is taxiway Alpha. Pretty much if you're over
That area there, you've gone too far.
Stefan has to fly his routine inside the show box, an invisible boundary set up to protect the crowd.
All right, I'm coming in.
show bus sector starting now. Seem to be a little bit to the east, Stefan. You might want to slide it to the other end.
All right, thank you.
Whoa. I look up. Stefan's spilling out of the box. He busts the show line.
Was I out?
Yes.
In England, an unexpected repair has Pete's team scrambling.
What time is it?
It's 10 to 12.
You're in the air at 12:30?
If his plane isn't ready, the air racer will lose his practice slot.
This is always a critical day because it's the first day we get to see the track.
It's rough.
7 minutes until the plane should be ready to go. So, a little tight.
Okay, seatbelt's good.
That's the worst thing you can do, is just not get out on the track.
You a good cut here?
Yeah, I think we're just about done, Dave.
So you're flying.
With his plane back together just under the wire, Pete has to focus on flying. Pilots race 2 laps around a series of inflated pylons.
No entry speed for Bonham either.
Tracking Pete's every turn is his #1 fan, his father, David.
My dad taught me how to fly. All of the core flying abilities I have is from flying with my dad.
Energy 4 is ready. Okay, number 84, McLeod, you are clear to race.
My dad's a big help at the races. There's a lot of data analysis. There's work to be done.
He's a little bit behind.
After practice, father and son run the numbers.
So we're running about a second behind. A second in the race now is first place to 10th place. So it's really tight.
If they can't find a way to shave off time, Pete's shot at victory could slip through his fingers.
I need to be aggressive to win. That's what's at stake. It's winning or losing.
At the Airshow practice,
Seems to be a little bit to the east.
Stefan's routine is going sideways.
You might want to slide it to the other end.
Was I out?
Yeah.
Stefan busts the show line.
Air boss Donna Flynn thinks the rookie has broken her #1 rule.
He's pushing this edge, so no. Move it over.
And he busts it again.
I've warned him now twice. 3 strikes, you're out.
Okay, I'm done.
Less than 24 hours before his first air show, Stefan has a target on his back.
He's not going to come near the end of the box tomorrow, or I will knock him off. Not on show day.
The next morning,
We're just scrambling to get ready to go here.
the first air show of the busy weekend is about to begin in Boundary Bay.
Update the wind at 19 knots over.
It is windy. But right now it's blowing like hell. This will be a challenge. We may have to scrub it, I don't know. Hope not.
We welcome you here to Boundary Bay in this wonderful airport.
High winds threaten to push performers off their lines.
It's an on-crowd wind. It's going to push all these pilots and their aircraft over the crowd, and we can't have that.
Just be real careful with that wind today. Everybody's having quite a bit of problems with this on crowd. Yeah, we sort of breathe for both the winds, so we'll do the best we can.
For their show line, these guys are going to have to push it out in order to try and make it happen.
And in the sky, the high winds threaten to push aircraft dangerously close together.
They get closer and closer and closer. They miss each other with inches to spare.
Even for veteran father-son team Bud
Over we go.
and Ross Granley.
And around they go. Both airplanes now rolling around each other.
Flying as close as 10 feet apart.
That's number 3.
The high winds are a serious test.
We got about 22 knots on crowd here right now. Even the pros are having a hard time today.
I'm gonna be a little nervous, to tell you that. We're gonna just open our way up for the formation. I can't get tied to them. We're not Bud and Ross, not yet.
For Dave and his new partner John, it's only their 3rd performance together.
Now you've got 2 pilots who've hardly flown together who have to deal with this wind.
Release the brakes now. Let's hit it.
John Melby, Super Dave Matheson.
Winds are howling. I'm getting bounced around. Something fierce, just trying to stay on his wing.
It's dangerous with a 2-ship. We could hit each other.
Turn down 250. Here we go. Turn left now.
With the wind gusting over the airfield.
Ready, break now.
One miscalculation
Give it to her.
could end in disaster.
Roll now.
high winds have bumped up the risk for a new aerobatic team.
It's dangerous. We're bouncing around. We could hit each other.
To compensate,
I'm going to go over to town.
Dave and John fly further apart and further away from the crowd.
And flip now. My head hurts. Flip now. This is awesome. All right, let's stop this nonsense. Flip it over. What's up, show boss? John Day, ready to land 1-2.
Excellent, thanks guys. That looked great.
Good, thank you, sir.
It's a safe performance that thrills the fans.
It was a great show. I was really happy.
You are a rock star.
We're good.
Good. Good.
But for some,
How long have you been doing that with John?
it's unimpressive.
This is our third time or second time? Third
Okay.
time. We're very, very new at it.
I don't mean to be critical or anything, but it's not very dramatic for people at center stage.
We're not trying to be dramatic yet.
I found it kind of ironic from someone who stands on an airplane and waves.
Well, so I'm kind of telling you, I think you could bump it up, you know?
Oh, we will.
She's not an aerobatic pilot, so I just sit and nod and smile at Carol.
Just do what you gotta do, right?
Yep.
With the wind still gusting,
How's the wind? Brutal.
the greenest pilot on the circuit is about to make his Airshow debut.
This feels like the first day of the rest of my life.
Go ahead, Stefan.
At yesterday's practice,
Whoa.
Stefan was repeatedly warned
He's pushing this edge. Move it over.
for flying outside the box.
You did it once, and I warned you, and then you did it again. I was really being kind. Just ignore where the crowd is and just fly the box. Fly the box.
If I get knocked off today, everyone's going to realize they can't trust me. They're going to make up their minds. They're going to write me off. This is going to wreck my reputation.
Worst thing that can happen with him is the air boss can knock him off and say, land.
Stefan, come on, let's go. Run, run.
As a new airshow pilot, that's the last thing you want.
Dude, rocket, man.
I can't screw this one up.
This is the biggest show of his life.
But right now, it's blowing like hell. Cross our fingers.
This is Kilo India X-ray. Stefan, I am ready whenever you are.
Stefan, the airspace is yours.
Stefan Trischuk, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm thinking, yeah, finally, I'm going to fly my first air show. Let's do this.
He is about to begin his airshow career here at Boundary Bay.
For the first time, Stefan has an audience.
That's where he's gonna blow.
Yeah.
And his airshow mentors watching his every move,
It's got 30 degrees on the wind there.
including the man who gave him his airshow license.
There it is, smoke's on.
You can see he's got a heck of an on-crowd wind. You can really see with the smoke how much is pushing it over.
With the wind pushing Stefan towards the crowd, the new pilot is taking a risk, flying as close to the audience as allowed, the 500-foot show line. But if he flies further away on the 1,000-foot show line, he won't look as impressive.
Why is he aiming way over here? He should be even farther out than that. Oh, crap. There's a freaking line.
In England, Pete McLeod arrives at Ascot like a rock star.
It's an exciting lifestyle. We travel the world, we fly fast, and we have a lot of fun. I'm a kid from small town northern Canada. I mean, I couldn't imagine this in my wildest dreams.
Oh, this is looking impressive.
The legendary thoroughbred track has been transformed into a spectacular battleground.
He's very close to Doldra. 2 tenths to find out.
Today, Pete will have to fly faster than ever to clinch top position for tomorrow's final race.
Qualifying day isn't just a day that we show up and think we're just going for a little more practice. It's game day.
If Pete finishes first, he'll get to fly in the coveted last position tomorrow.
We gotta watch to see what people are doing.
After mediocre training runs,
More than 3/4 of the way down, then he came right up to the gate.
Pete and his dad David talked strategy.
We identified 5 or 6 areas where, we think that Pete can pick up some time.
But push too hard, and Pete knows he'll pay a price. Aggressive flying cost him 2 races this season.
Over G. Climb up. That's a DNF, I'm afraid.
First, a penalty for breaking the maximum 10G rule in Poland. And in Malaysia,
Knock it off, knock it off, knock it off.
Pete exceeded the 200-mile-an-hour starting speed limit.
Come on. Poison speed.
201. Pete's going to be trying to pull fairly early into the pull-up gate. He's going to have to watch he doesn't get caught on that, but he's going to see what he can get away with.
After some of the top racers lay down impressive times,
Another great performance. 84.
Pete launches.
84 McLeod, you are clear to race.
Good race, 84.
Well, watched on very carefully by his father, David McLeod, is the youngest of all the air race pilots. He oozes confidence, and when he's on his A game, the youngster really can put the cat amongst the pigeons.
He's got to be careful. They're calling lots of stuff.
Pete's halfway through the course and still penalty-free.
Just under 0.3 of a second, the right side of the clock for Canada's Pete McLeod. But can he pull it out? As he heads for the 12th and final gate to take the lead. Yes, yes.
84 McLeod, 1 minute 10.698 seconds, no penalties.
Pete McLeod goes into top position and sets a new track record.
It's the fastest qualifying time of the day,
Great run.
putting Pete into the coveted pole position for tomorrow's race.
I ran max power, cut the corners, took a lot of risk, didn't get any penalties, and it paid off. Qualifying first is a huge advantage because I get to be the last to fly. I can adjust my strategy if need be.
And once again, Pete gets the rock star treatment.
Thank you. Hey, thank you. Hey, yeah, thank you.
It's a proud moment for the circuit's youngest racer and his #1 fan.
Thank you. Good luck.
Excellent, yeah. All right, enjoy the day tomorrow.
At the air show, the pressure's on.
First show on the most windiest day of the year.
Stefan's battling a stiff crosswind.
Getting closer.
Oh, crap. There's a freaking line.
With his on-crowd wind, he's coming remarkably close to that 500-foot show line.
I'm getting blown by the winds. But I realized if I can't handle this wind, I'm not good enough to fly an air show.
As he pulls up into a hammerhead, Stefan makes a critical call.
Attaboy. That is gorgeous.
And flies his pit special further out, resisting the urge to get closer to the crowd.
That's, you gotta do. That's a pro move. That's perfect. Yeah, good job.
Stefan Trishuk, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause.
There was a couple times he got close to the edge of the box, but hey, he did his job. It was great.
finally you've got the one air show out of the way, and that's the biggest show of your life.
After everything I've been through, all the hurdles I've had to overcome, the dream is finally coming true.
Good job.
One time they came over here. And you were back over there.
It's his first air show. He didn't screw it up. Proud of the kid. Yep. It's good.
Thanks, bud.
Awesome, Dan.
Proud of you, man. Proud of you. You did good.
What do you think it is? But the celebration is short-lived.
The steerman won't move. They pushed out and brake stopped.
The next act is in trouble
Careful when we pull it off because all the parts are going to come tumbling out.
when the right wheel on Carol's Stearman locks up.
The brake is absolutely seized. What is going on, you little baby? Probably about the worst thing that can happen. Sort of a wing falling off. Damn it. Damn it.
A seized brake has Carol and Marcus sidelined.
The brake is absolutely seized. It's beyond moving.
If they can't get her fixed, they're not going to be able to fly.
It's filthy as hell.
I don't think that's the reason.
This dirt could be causing it, man.
I don't know.
There was nothing super obvious. You could say, oh, this is the problem. Here you go. That's a brand new brake pad. It was like it was dirty, but dirty usually doesn't cause that kind of grabbing.
If it's not this, then there's something in the hydraulics that is failing.
But Carol and Marcus won't find out if it will lock up again.
Let's get this back on as soon as we can. I'm really nervous about this. Very nervous.
Until takeoff and landing.
On the last pass, once you're finished, get in the bucket, belt in. Okay.
If that brake grabs, it'll ground loop the airplane. It'll be catastrophic, tear the airplane apart, not survive the accident type deal.
Ready?
Yes.
Clear.
Clear.
Marcus, this Aerobatic. The airspace is yours.
Good copy, boss. We're ready to rock and roll.
After a safe takeoff,
Marcus kicks the airplane.
the routine begins.
Up she goes. Straight up to the top. Kicks it over in the hammerhead. And now watch as Marcus Payne dives in to build up that airspeed.
The team sets up for their risky new maneuver, the slow roll.
Up he goes. Pitches up and around he goes. All the way around. OMG! Get your head in the air. Give her a huge wave. Carol McLeod, ladies and gentlemen.
Look great.
Cool. That's about it.
But Carol and Marcus brace themselves for what could be the most dangerous moment of the flight.
If a brake grabs, that will turn into a somersault. I'm tying in and I'm prepping for an emergency landing. It kept turning and turning and turning and turning and turning. And that's exactly what I wanted to see. Well, the airplane's not a ball of fire, so I think it worked pretty good.
Good job. It's a dramatic finish to the first show of the weekend.
It was a great show. Now off to Pit Meadows.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure.
In England, it's race day.
And here comes Nigel Lamb now, full throttle.
30,000 people pack the stands at Ascot.
Over the trees, drops down there. Of course, have to have the wings level through each of the gates.
I'm in the hangar, analyzing my lines, mentally preparing for what I need to do out there.
Yesterday, nobody was as fast as the Canadian air racer Pete McLeod.
As he heads for the 12th and final gate to take the lead. Yes, yes.
Qualifying first means today Pete will get to fly last.
Once they start, their tail wheels right off the ground. Yeah, right away.
Giving him and his dad, David, a chance to size up the other team's runs. But as he waits for his 11 competitors to fly, conditions at the track deteriorate.
We had a nasty cold front come through that's brought some strong wind.
Pylons begin to sway in the high winds.
Windy out there.
And race times are getting slower and slower.
Another one just went down.
Pete's advantage is sailing away.
I'm last to fly. It looks like I'm gonna actually have the worst position.
You know, getting a little anxious now. Let's get at it, you know.
Number 84, Cloud, you are clear to race. This is Canada's Pete McLeod, fastest man in training, owner of the track record here in Ascot.
There is a lot of turbulence out there on the track.
Right away, Pete is fighting the winds.
And I'm seeing those pylons wiggle, and Pete's just trying to get lined up in the center.
I can actually feel the plane slow down as I turn into the wind.
Then, on his 5th gate.
And then all of a sudden...
Oh! Wings level through the gate.
Pete McLeod is battling high winds, trying to capture his first Red Bull Air Race victory.
I can actually feel the plane slow down as I turn into the wind. And then all of a sudden...
Oh, I knew it!
Whack. I feel the pylon hit.
Number 84, McLeod. 2-second penalty for gate hit. That is a huge disappointment for the Canadian fans.
I'm out of the race.
That is his father, David McLeod, and well, his facial expression tells the story. Huge disappointment for Pete McLeod. Wow, what a round.
84 inbound. 84, you are clear to land.
I'm a little stunned. You go from the #1 seed to win to out in the first round, probably last. It's a shock, not an easy pill to swallow.
I feel bad for Pete, you know, because he's worked so hard and, you know, had such a good day yesterday.
But there's no time to wallow in the loss. Pete's plane is packed up to be shipped overseas.
Got it, you got it.
To his next race in Texas.
Careful, watch.
This thing gets shipped more than it gets flown, I think.
At the second show site, on the Flying Circus's busiest weekend.
Yuck.
It's a bleak morning for Air Boss Donna Flynn.
It's cold, it's wet, it's yucky. Yuck. What a drag.
Yeah, we're definitely not at show weather right now. It looks like some more rain's coming. Nice day here at Duck.
You think we're gonna fly today?
Oh yeah, we got good ceilings, it's getting better.
It's getting better?
But as the rain tapers off,
We're starting in 1 minute.
pilots face another danger.
If the ceiling is low, they have a risk of flying into cloud.
In this stuff, you get lost in the clouds, you're done. Because we don't know if you're upside down or right side up.
Number 3, Voyager Mike, black pits in front of you as engine started, ready taxi.
John Melby is first to test the low ceiling.
Go ahead, the airspace is yours.
I'm from Arizona, and it's blue skies there all the time. I'm not used to flying in clouds like this. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
There's John, he's up in the sky.
John, how do you read me?
Rick, I hear you. 555.
Sound good, buddy?
almost like he's been catapulted up into the sky. Is that not amazing flying?
But moments into John's routine,
Who's that? Go get him.
There's a guy standing in the middle of the runway.
Oh, you're kidding.
What's he doing?
Who's that? Go get him. Who is that?
A straggler. There's a guy standing in the middle of the runway.
Donna's worst nightmare
Oh, you're kidding.
has shut down her air show.
I look out on the runway, and there's someone right in the middle of the runway. I've got an aircraft in the air.
I've never seen it, and I can't believe it.
Where did you come from? Thank you. Here, and there's a walk down here. That closed the whole show down.
Somebody came walking out of there. There is not one security guard over there.
Did you see the dude?
Which
on
dude?
the runway?
Yeah, I saw the dude in the runway. That's great security over there.
Yeah. Dude on the runway.
With the field finally secured, the show can continue.
Still scuddy here and there, but we're hoping it'll lift.
But only if the weather holds.
If it's raining, I'm not going. It's that simple. It makes the airplane so slippery, it's not funny. It's beyond sketchy.
The airplane flies in the rain, no problem. But for Carol to be in the rain is like having BBs shot at her.
A little drop of rain, when it hits 160 miles an hour, becomes a ballistic missile. It hurts.
I don't know about you, but I sure wouldn't want to be standing on a wing today.
I'm literally standing on the wing, waiting for clearance into the box, and it starts to rain.
We got some rain moving behind us, so it's gonna bullseye us right now.
She is not going out there if it's raining.
I'm done.
It's not even up for discussion. I will do a solo, we're done.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this by myself.
I started the walk of shame back to the hot pit.
The drive of shame.
The drive of shame.
Marcus, shut up. The airspace is yours.
Smoke is on, and that means he's ready to show us some aerobatics. Marcus Payne.
Sent Marcus up to go have some fun, and I get to sit on the ground like a big fat boob and do nothing.
It's fun to turn back the hands of time and do a little bit of barnstorming.
Just as I finished the routine,
You know, we're losing the feeling here at the west end of the box.
the downpour starts.
I think we're going to be finishing now.
That's enough. We're done.
It was buckets. It was a wall of water.
The problem with rain is the visibility comes down, and then it becomes the safety issue.
By the time he landed, it was like Noah's Ark all over again.
Boy, it opened up, eh?
The crowd's scrambling. The pilots are scrambling. We're tired, we're soaking wet, but that's air shows.
At the end of a weekend like this, you're exhausted, you're happy.
Nice! Liquid sunshine.
Liquid sunshine.
We executed both shows. We did what we came to do. It's a crazy weekend, but it's nice when it's finally done. It's unfortunate because the end of the air show is supposed to be a happy, joyful, exciting celebration. Instead it was, you know, kind of a damp whimper. Two drowned rats.
Next time, on the season finale of Airshow, a low fuel gauge
Burn out, man.
puts a Patriot
Come on.
to the test. Super Dave's dream gauge takes a dramatic turn.
I'm freaking out a little bit.
And
Without.
is a new partnership falling apart.
Trust me, maybe this is the beginning of the end.
Pete's back with a vengeance.
Is it McLeod?
But will he make the cut?
Oh!
Plus,
I want to be part of the deal.
You're obviously not happy.
troubled times
Boss, I have an issue.
for Carol and Marcus.